It's Kevin Murray from the Utah Fraternal Order of Police with Brent Jex. We're coming in from Nashville, Tennessee. Give you a couple of updates from House Bill 267 and how it applies to us in Utah. First takeaway is collective bargaining is no longer a thing. This only applies to Salt Lake City PD because they were the only ones that had a collective bargaining agreement. Other agencies, if you've been bargaining with your chief or with your HR in the capacity that you have been doing it, it shouldn't change the way that you're doing it. The only one that was affected was Salt Lake City PD because they have a contract to guarantee those meetings and that bargaining. As far as our Salt Lake City PD members, that will continue in some capacity. Where the mayor has given a commitment for that. So that may be, we're not sure how that looks, but that may come through with a group of different people from different organizations that come together to talk about your benefits. The second big portion that this affects is the use of public facilities, and that's left up to chiefs to allow that, but if they allow the FOP to do it, they have to allow other organizations to do it as well. But ultimately, it's for the good of the officer or the good of the department. So if you're doing things like Shop with a Cop or Kids in Christmas or bringing in food after an officer-involved critical incident, those things don't apply to 267, and you should have the ability to continue to do those things. However, it is in best practices that you work with your chief to come up with a policy that allows for this, and in that policy, just state that other organizations are allowed to use the facilities just as what the FOP is. So those are the main takeaways. I'll turn it over to Brent about how we fought this bill and some strategies that were used.
So from its inception, we started fighting this on multiple fronts. We engaged with the bill sponsors. We really tried to minimize the impact. We were successful in negotiating a substitute that was agreed upon by all the organizations that we would stand down our opposition if they would adhere to these. It would have left collective bargaining in place with some different provisions. Ultimately, the antics of a couple of organizations that operated outside of our knowledge or what we were ever consulted on is ultimately what led the Senate to passing the substitute 1 instead of sub 2 or sub 3, which we had negotiated. A couple of things that everybody needs to understand is that for all of our lodges, and including our Capital City Lodge, our day-to-day doesn't change. Like Kevin said, this doesn't change or alter how we engage with our city or county councils or any commissions that we may report to or that we've had dialogue with. I probably have the biggest change, and that's filing a membership report with our labor department once a year. It's not a big ad for me. So if you're concerned about how your lodge is operated, the FOP is not gonna see an impact on this one way or another. It has more to do with the general premise of attacking labor. We have been engaged in this from the get-go. We continue to be engaged in it. Despite any rumors to the contrary, we didn't lay down on this. We've been the go-to for facts. We haven't operated off hyperbole. Some of the other groups have laid some stories and some statements that did not help the cause any. We've tried to steer clear of that. Regardless of what this looks like as it rolls out, or any changes that we're able to be successful with in legislative sessions to come, we're at the forefront making sure that we are able to do what is in the best interest of our members and making sure that the profession is what we make of it.
So with that, if anybody has any questions, rather than stew about it and worry about what the outcomes are, please reach out to us. We've got a direct line of communication with the bill writer, and we will get any clarification that you need as we hope to move forward and possibly make this bill better for us in the future. Thank you.